It's the first game under the lights at Lecom Park in Bradenton, Florida. That's appropriate because the spotlight shines in the inaugural Breakout Series game as Major League Baseball showcases the game's top prospects, the future stars of baseball. There's one, Termarr Johnson, the top position prospect in the Pirates organization. There's the top prospect in all of baseball, the Orioles, Jackson Holliday. They and others signing autographs before tonight's big showcase game. Greg Brown and Kevin Young in the booth here at Lecom Park, and this is going to be a lot of fun. Kevin, right off the bat, Paul Skeens is going to take the mound. The #1 pick in baseball of last year. He's the #1 pitching prospect in the game. Early on, first inning, he'll be facing Jackson Holliday. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You're talking about two elite athletes. You know, Paul Skeens, everybody else is getting horses, Brownie. This guy's a Clydesdale. So he's coming out here looking for it. You can see the size of the young man, 6'7", throws 6 different pitches, all for strikes. Good command, and that's what you're looking forward to seeing in this competition today and moving forward if you're a Pirates fan.
Paul Skeens, the numbers last year, just limited action in the minor leagues, limited action in spring training. Jackson Holliday, he's playing this prospect game tonight, but he's not done with what he might do in terms of the major leagues. They haven't told him yet that he's going to the minors. He actually might break camp as the starting second baseman.
Really good shot because he can do 3 things well. That's offense, defense, and base running, and that's how you be a big leaguer. And Jackson Holliday is well on his way to doing this in this game and probably looking forward to doing it in a Baltimore uniform moving forward.
First overall pick 2 years ago. Of course, we know Paul Skeens, the first overall pick last year. They'll be matching up in the very first inning. Right off the bat, the Pirates and the Orioles prospects next. And we are ready for really game 2 of a doubleheader. Earlier, the Pirates and the Orioles played a Grapefruit League game, and now Paul Skeens takes the mound. A couple of outings already for the Pirates, and he knows now that he'll start this year in the minor leagues somewhere. A little different here tonight. Some rules you'll want to know about. First of all, this is going to be a 7-inning game. The rosters are made up of MLB Pipeline's top 30 prospects. Pitchers can re-enter the game after they're removed. No 3-batter minimum. An automated balls and strikes challenge system going to be used. Kevin, you've seen that in the minors. We will see it for the first time. Those of us who didn't get a chance to see minor league games last year. But each team gets 3 challenges. If successful, those challenges or challenge is retained. Top of the strike zone is 53.5% of the batter's height. The bottom of the strike zone, 27% of the batter's height. The strike zone going to be measured at the middle of the plate.
Yeah, and it actually moves really quick. It'll be good to have an explanation for a lot of these fans that are new to this. The umpires will take some time to make sure they do explain what the challenge system is doing and how it's activated. So that'll be a good thing for newcomers that are coming into baseball right now.
Here we are. Paul Skeens last season, very limited. Pirates are being very, very careful with him. But it won't be long. He's going to be knocking on that door at the big league level.
Yeah, you take a look at those Pennsylvania lottery numbers for Paul Skeens, and that's very important to know that this man is, like I've said before, he's big, he's strong, and he really gets after it and pulls throughout all innings.
The lineup he's facing, everybody's just stacked with prospects. Enrique Bradfield Jr., one of the fastest players in organized baseball. Jackson Holliday, talked about him. Connor Norby, #7 prospect in the Orioles system. Kobe Mayo, he is going to hit cleanup. Samuel Basayo is the DH. Dylan Beavers will be followed by Judd Fabian and Billy Cook, and then Silas Ardoin. And here's Enrique Bradfield Jr. He's played in some big league Grapefruit League games this spring. 1 for 10. First pick last year by the Orioles out of Vanderbilt. And a first pitch strike from Paul Skeens, 101 miles an hour to Enrique Bradfield Jr. Well,
that got eerily quiet right there, Brownie.
101 again.
We're in a library. Everybody's just like waiting for a pitch right now. Look at that good fastball right there. Top of the zone, explosive.
Top pitching prospect in the game out of LSU. And he just said, Try this. How about 101, 101, 102? Yep, it's a showcase.
Man, that's some kind of impressive. I think the best thing that a lot of fans will get to appreciate in Pittsburgh is you see that fastball is right down the middle. It's just so much velocity. It's just that he can hold his innings like this with this velocity, you know, deep into a game. That's got to be something good a manager wants to hear.
Well, 101 again. This time ball one. Lucas Krupa is the home plate umpire. He's aware of this challenge system. Been a part of it in the minor leagues. 102, 2-0 to Jackson Holliday. They actually faced off earlier in a Grapefruit League game. Paul Skeens made his Pirates spring training debut in Sarasota.
Here's a good look right there. Ball speed pitch. 2-0 change up. It looks like the ability to throw all pitches for strikes. He has 6 different pitches he can use. And that's a heck of an arsenal when you got a 101 mile per hour fastball.
Skeens delivers another pitch out of the zone. And it's 3-1 on Jackson Holliday. The first pitch he threw other than the fastball there.
Yeah, looked like a little cut fastball, maybe a slider. You can see right here, 3-1. Jackson Holliday's looking for a good pitch to hit. He's not going to get one.
3-2. How about that? Oh, yeah, and you can see Skeens. He is pumped up. That little reaction. After falling behind, he gets Jackson Holliday.
Yeah, we talked about being a Clydesdale, and that's exactly what it looks like. You see a nasty changeup, 3-2. Just look at the movement of that ball running away from the left-handed hitter. So impressive.
And there's strike one.
It is literally so quiet every pitch.
Watch this reaction by Skeens, by the way. Yeah. Paul Skeens might pitch just 1 inning tonight. Broke a bat.
Got a souvenir.
And if that's the 1 inning, these fans, that was a treat. He dominates 3 hitters. A strikeout, and a broken bat off the bat of Connor Norby. Well, ready for the bottom of the first. Sung-Chae Chang, number 9 prospect in the Pirates system, will lead things off. Here's the rest of the Pirates prospect lineup. Termarr Johnson, Lonnie White Jr., followed by Jack Brannigan. Tres Gonzalez is in left field. Jace Bowen in center. Garrett Forster at the first baseman. Mitch Jebb is the designated hitter, and Abraham Gutierrez rounding out the starting 9 for the Pirates, facing the lefty Cade Povich.
Yeah, Sung-Chae Chang, better known as Z around Pirate City, and he's a complete player as well. He definitely gets his swings off. For a little stature, he carries a big bat. Hits the ball to all fields and runs well. Take a look at Cade Povich's numbers this last season.
We saw Povich actually had a Grapefruit League game against the Pirates. He was reassigned to minor league camp yesterday. He's the Orioles' number 10 prospect. Sung-Chae Chang, a 22-year-old from Taiwan, also some big league time this spring. 5 for 20, couple of home runs playing in Grapefruit League play with the Pirates this spring. Pirates have 5 of the top 100 prospects in baseball. MLB Pipeline came out with the new prospect list a couple of weeks ago, and the walk to Chang, and on that list 44th overall, and the number 2 prospect in the Pirate system comes to the plate now in Termarr Johnson, who's hitting .368 this spring. He's 19 years old. A first-round pick 2 years ago by the Pirates. He's hit 2 homers this spring. And talking to Pirates hitting coach Andy Haynes the other day, Kevin, he said pound for pound, because he's small stature, but he's built. I don't know that I've seen a guy with this kind of power before. Pound for pound.
Yeah, and I have to say he's pretty accurate with that one. I mean, you look at a 19-year-old, coming in as really his first big league camp where he's participating, but I mean, the size of his back, his body, the thighs, all those areas where baseball players carry, the consistency over a long season, and he has it already at 19, and he does not get cheated in that batter's box at all.
By the way, we're going to have him mic'd up during the game a little bit later on. That'll be a treat. Got a great personality. And boy, he doesn't lack confidence. Again, he's 19 years old, listed at 5'7", 190.
Nice job of battling and fighting off that ball, having a tough 2-strike approach.
Povich is 23 years old. He reached AAA last year. Was in big league camp for the second time. He struck out 171 batters in 127 innings last year. Little poke. And that'll work. A base hit.
And that's what you really want to see, that left-on-left matchup. A good matchup. Get to 2 strikes, find a way to battle, put the ball in play. Nothing better than that, and find yourself on base. See that pitch off the plate. Put it in play. Hey, keep this going.
For Lonnie White Jr., the number 12 prospect in the Pirate system. The 21-year-old from the Philadelphia area. Hoping to put together a healthy season. Great athlete, three-sport star in high school.
Lonnie White, another one of those young prospects here. Hasn't seen a lot of playing times, had to struggle with some injuries. Looking forward to watching him put together a complete season, staying healthy and seeing if he can make some noise.
Fouled off by Lonnie White. Pirates and the Orioles, organizations that have loaded systems.
And they really are familiar with each other because they do play each other a lot throughout the course. Obviously, being right here in Sarasota, they get a good look at the lower levels as well, but in Bowie and Altoona, a lot of these guys are very familiar with each other.
And a line drive for Lonnie White. He's going to load the bases. Calix Crabb is the third base coach for the Pirates prospects tonight. He managed Altoona, complex hitting coordinator.
You see Lonnie White being able to hold on that off-speed pitch, keep those hands back, being able to shoot that ball out in the left field.
And now Jack Brannigan. Jack Brannigan, third-round pick 2 years ago out of Notre Dame. We've seen him get a good number of at-bats in Grapefruit League play. 1 for 17. Playing a lot of third base. Very strong defender. Baseball America called him the best defensive infielder in the Pirate system and the best arm among infielders in the Pirate system. Played here in Bradenton last year and high A ball Greensboro. Hit 19 homers combined, low A, high A.
you're talking about that challenge system. You get to a point of a game like this, even in these situations, that's when it really comes into play. Bases loaded, nobody out. You want to make sure you use those things wisely, and sometimes the first inning may be the time where you actually use one of them. So I'm really curious to see how this works out.
And now Jack Brannigan lifts one to left field. Judd Fabian will make the catch. And what an arm. Close play. A sac fly for Brannigan as Sung-Chae Chang scores. Termarr Johnson tags and moves 90 feet.
Yeah, good job all the way around, executing, situational hitting. Termarr Johnson did a great job of getting a good read, seeing the outfielder catch the ball flat-footed, going back on it, was able to advance right there to get to third base with less than 2 outs. So nice job all the way around on the offense.
Now the trail runner Lonnie White Jr. did not move up. He's still at first. And Tres Gonzalez, number 28 prospect in the Pirate system. One for 4 in Grapefruit League play. Cade Povich is stretched out, so they thought he might go as many as 3 innings, but he's throwing a lot of pitches here.
Yeah, he has some action in that Oriole bullpen right now.
Mentioned those rules. You can leave and re-enter a game, and now a pickoff, and he is safe. They had him picked off, but the relay throw from Billy Cook. Lonnie White Jr. ends up swiping a second.
Yeah, first movement against the lefty. See right here, Lonnie White goes on first movement, gets inside that base path, changes the throw from the first baseman. Is able to get in there safely.
Shallow left. Gonzalez pops out to Fabian. Runners have to hold. So 2 outs. You see behind the Pirates dugout, Bill Nutting, Jim Leland, Joe Torre, Bob Nutting. And Jim Leland will enter baseball's Hall of Fame this summer. Joe Torre, a Hall of Famer and a special assistant to the commissioner. We'll actually have Jim Leland in the booth a couple days. This ball in the air to center off the bat of Jace Bowen. Sends it deep, but Enrique Bradfield tracks it down. Bucks get a run. The Baby Bucks lead the Baby Birds. 1-0. Pittsburgh leading Baltimore, top of the second, and we're joined in the booth as Paul Skeens puts that strong inning in the books, strikes out a pair and the broken bat grounder. 101 to start out, 102 got Bradfield and then Jackson Holiday. And we're joined in the booth. Guy we want to see, not in this game, want to see him in game 1 when the Pirates played the Orioles. Andy Rodriguez, who unfortunately suffered an injury in winter ball, underwent Tommy John surgery, so he'll be watching and starting to rehab. How do you feel, Andy?
Feeling great. Just getting better and big. Working at the gym the hard I can, and just enjoy the boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have such a positive attitude, but it's got to be so tough for you not to be out there playing. I know it.
Yeah, but I keep preparing my mind for the season. I stay in the game because it's what I want. Yeah, I start working with my girlfriend. Well, no more my girlfriend, but yeah, she's my fiance now.
Oh, congrats, man.
Thank you, boys.
Oh, do you have the date set?
Not yet.
Nice.
But we're going to find the day.
Oh, good. That's really good. So when you're preparing in your mind, what does that look like? Share with some of us how you prepare in your mind for a season like this.
I don't know. I just want to learn about the older guard here. We got Martin Perez. We got Joanny Cespedes and now Grandal. I want to hear the most I can for those guys, and I can stay around the boys, knowing I can't play right now, but I can help with my vibes and it stays positive.
Oh, and it is a positive vibe at that.
Well, you know,
love about you.
I was going to say, Andy, you know a lot about these guys. You've caught some of them. What can you tell us about Braxton Ashcraft?
Yeah, I never called him, but what I see in the staff in the bullpen, beginning of spring training, I saw a guy like can pitch in the big league. I saw a guy can be a good teammate, I saw a guy can be a leader, help how he wants. He's an incredible guy. I love him.
What did you think of Paul Skeens?
Oh man, he's like Otani, man. He's out of the war, man. I saw him pitch the first inning, 1 or 2, and I say, wow. Thanks God forgot him here and no the team because we gotta face him in the team.
Yeah, you don't want to be opponent.
No, I want to catch him. I don't want to face him. No.
When you're watching a guy like that, or even Ashcraft, any of these guys, are you actually mentally preparing to what it's going to be like to catch them?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I keep talking with those guys, like, just for knowing how they work, how they like to find himself in the game. I keep working with the guys, yeah.
No, that's really good, Andy. I mean, we talked about it all the time. It's just the energy that you bring. Doesn't matter, just a quality individual, whether you're in uniform or out of uniform. And so it goes to say, I mean, that's really what it takes to really go through this process as a young player, being able to find ways to get better, even though you're not on the field. And you've done an amazing job with that impact thus far. So keep it up, brother.
Yeah, I will. Hey, it's how I say my whole young career. You gotta be a human in the game and out of the game. You don't know where you're going to be the next year. So you just gotta be cool with the guys.
Luis Valdez going to pinch run for Samuel Basayo. Dylan Beavers at the plate for Baltimore. Graham Ashcraft. Seen in some Grapefruit League play. And there is Abraham Gutierrez, a catcher in the Pirates system. And we're with a catcher in the Pirates system right now, Andy Rodriguez.
Hey, you see Braxton a little long right there on the delivery. Pretty decent jump right there.
Yeah.
What you think, Andy?
It's tough to make up that ground, huh?
Yeah, that's baseball, man. They take a good jump too. It looks fast.
Fouled off.
Always when you see skinny boys in the bases, bars start working. Okay, I gotta be prepared.
You gotta be quick.
The quick I can, yes, sir.
Oh, so good.
Well, now you're playing winter ball. Tell us what happened, and when did you know that it was something serious?
Bro, I don't really know. It was weird. Sometimes I just see it and start thinking about that night. Because what I remember is just swinging a mess, a change in front of me. And I don't know, I just feel something, but I keep playing because it wasn't something big to me. But the next inning, the running was still, and I kept stealing him and 2 more guys. And
You threw out a guy, three guys.
That
After you felt it pain.
Yeah, and
Oh
I
my gosh.
say, wow, what the hell? So the next day, I just feel something in my elbow and say, okay, I gotta say something. So we went to MRI and we find something weird there. So it's then when I flew back to Pittsburgh and see what happened there.
Right.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know.
Well, like I say, you're one day closer to being back on that field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The right
100%.
elbow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Andy, what about timetable? Are you going to be able to start at some point swinging a bat?
Yeah. How I know it would be the next month.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's the first or second week of April. I'd be able to hit with my left side of the. My left side,
On
yeah,
the
my
left
left
side.
side, yeah, the left side.
No, that'll be good. It's coming.
Yeah,
It is definitely coming.
yeah, I have to maintain my main boozy. I want to hear. Or every morning I come to Seth, the trainer, and say, hey, we got to hit today, man. We got to hit. I feel like I can hit today. But it's a joke, you know, like, and he say, no, you can't. You got to wait, you know, with his patience. And I say, yeah, I know. Oh, no.
Try it again.
Yeah.
This time, good try. The tag from Brannigan. The throw from Gutierrez off the mark a little bit. And the pinch runner, Luis Valdez, steals his second bag.
He really is. He got a good jump on that one, that's for sure.
He runs.
And take a look at that jump. Super explosive.
It wasn't good pitch to throw.
Yeah, tough. And the catcher has to go to that backhand. That's always a tough one.
Infield in.
Oh.
What about the challenge system? Uh-oh.
That might be
I don't know if Ashcraft was looking toward the duck. You got to, only the pitcher, the catcher, and the batter can challenge a pitch. They can't come from the dugout. Have you done this before? Have you seen this?
Yeah, in AAA. I was.
What'd you think of it?
14 for 14.
No, you were not.
Yeah, my first month. You know that, right?
Yes, I do.
Wait a minute. In challenges?
In challenging catching, yeah.
Is he serious, Kevin?
He's serious.
14 for 14.
I remember.
Kevin Roach better watch out.
I remember that. It was funny. I remember one game at Toledo. It was a day game, and the umpire missed like 8 calls.
Jeez.
And my last one was in the ninth inning, I think. And I just decided to call. Oh.
To deep right, toward the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Nice job by Lonnie White. That'll tie it. Sac fly for Judd Fabian.
I remember he said, "Hey, bro, this is my job, you know. Take it easy, bro." I say, "Yeah, but it's the pitcher job too. You gotta do better job, man."
That's a great comeback.
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh.
This is a pitcher's job too.
Yeah, but that would be fun. I don't know if that would work in the minor league because you know they have to let the game just
The flow
go.
of the
Yeah.
game, correct, yes. That's what Brownie and I were talking about earlier is how do you maintain the flow of the game, you know, a lot of times in the process.
Yeah.
But it was efficient. It was really quick. I mean,
Yeah, that was really quick,
didn't take too much time.
Yeah.
Now they say tonight, and this must be different than what you guys were part of in the minors, but tonight the umpire will basically turn around and signal and turn his microphone on and tell the crowd that the batter or the pitcher or the catcher is challenging the last call.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then afterward, and we'll see it on the scoreboard, he'll say, okay, it was reversed, the call reversed, or not.
Oh, it's good. Ooh.
Like I had Dylan Beavers leaning a little bit.
You know, they just, for me, if we got a choice, I think the ABS.
The ABS.
Yeah.
No challenge?
No.
Yeah. Because that's the two systems. One is the challenge. The other is popped way up, be out of play. The other is the umpire gets each pitch. He gets the call in the headset or earpiece.
Yeah.
Is told whether it's a ball or a strike, and he calls it from there automatically, and so there's no challenge.
And why would you prefer that, Indy, opposed to the?
Yeah, because the pitcher have to throw in the sun.
I like that answer.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they throw, but they have to throw in the sun.
Graham
Braxton is really working now, trying to get that slide step in there.
Oh, that's close. Braxton Ashcraft, an appeal, no. With Andy Rodriguez kind enough to join us. He's on the injured list currently, but he'll be fighting his way back. It'll be great to see him make his return.
Come on, bro. Strike out.
We've seen Ashcraft pitch some games this spring for the Pirates.
Have you bounced over to Pirate City the last few days? Or
The last few days?
over
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody.
See some of the young bucks over there?
Oh, yeah. My boys over there.
No, they're always happy to see you, too.
Yeah. Such great energy from Andy Rodriguez. Loves the game.
Ooh. Yes, sir.
Loves that.
Me too.
You like that, Andy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, well,
That was
thanks
good,
a
man.
million, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Good seeing
Andy
you.
Rodriguez.
All right,
See you
love
too,
you, brother.
man.
1-1 score. It's 1-1. Let's go out to Hannah Mears with Paul Skeens.
Greg, we are with the man that everybody in here has been dying to see and hear. We have a ton of fans across from us right now, some in LSU gear as well. Paul, let's just start with the entirety of this thing. Under the lights, getting to be on the field with the guys that you've grown with throughout spring and in the minor leagues. How cool was this moment for you?
Yeah, it was awesome. Great to pitch a night game again. It's been a while. thrown to Goody a fair amount in camp and that kind of thing, and it was nice to throw in game with him. Great to work with him. So yeah, just looking forward to the future.
Well, let's talk about your appearance out there. It was a short sample size, but everybody in here was silent, just watching and enamored with what you were doing on the mound. 101, 101, 102, and a strikeout for your first batter. How pleased were you with the way that you executed?
Yeah, I mean, that was big, especially, I mean, it is still spring training, and we're trying to go out there and execute and work on some stuff. So fastball command was great, working on the breaking balls and being able to throw the changeup and sinker. It was awesome to be able to throw all those pitches.
Well, one of the guys that everybody in here wanted to see as well was Jackson Holliday. After you struck him out, there was a bit of a smile. There was a moment you had with the emotion after that, and that's the hype of this game, right? Seeing prospects like you and Jackson Holliday going up against one another. So what were you feeling after you finally got that last one by him?
Yeah, it was nice. Great to, love competing against guys like that. Obviously knew the, kind of the hype around that matchup, but I've been saying it for a little bit. Like, he and I are going to have a lot more opportunities to face each other in the future, which is going to be fun.
Well, you did have an opportunity to face him as well earlier in spring, and you had told me you're really excited to see how teams start to approach your pitching because they really only had video of you from LSU. So did you go into this game knowing that they might have had a little bit more of a sample size and had to adjust to that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little more of a sample size. It's not a whole lot, compared to 100-plus innings at LSU, but again, I'm just working on stuff right now. The characteristics of pitch usage and that kind of thing of what I have right now aren't necessarily going to be the same as in season. Just trying to get a full sample of all my pitches. So the scouting reports are kind of moot, I feel like, on both sides, just because everybody's trying to work on some stuff.
Yeah, so how did you approach this one then? Because in that same exact realm, you now had seen Jackson at least once. So how did you approach that first appearance?
I mean, both times knowing that I'm only throwing one inning, so it's trying to get all my pitches in. Obviously trying to get him out, so today it was giving him some different looks. Got deeper in the count than I wanted to, but the other time it was a quick AB, which is cool too. Quick outs are cool.
They're very cool. Everybody in here liked them. But let's talk about that velocity, because everybody in here was silent, like I said, waiting to hear that ball hit the catcher's mitt. You had told me that you want to see that velocity be consistent throughout an entirety of a game. I know you're only going one inning right now, but do you feel confident that after the 11 pitches you just threw, 8 for strikes, hit those triple digits, that you can go an entirety with that velocity, hitting that range?
Yeah, that's kind of my thing, kind of the thing I like to hang my hat on. So, but it's tough because an inning or two, we're going to go out there and hopefully throw 4 or 5 times that. Over the course of a game, not 10 innings, but hopefully throw a lot more than 2 innings throughout the course of a game. So it's tough to judge right now, but once we get into the season, we'll get a good feel for that.
Paul, the last time I talked to you was when you had been drafted to Pittsburgh. How much do you think you've grown just being in major league camp around a lot of veterans?
Oh, it's unbelievable. The guys we signed this offseason and the guys that have been in the system for a while, like it's just unbelievable to be able to be around them every day, because they're established big leaguers and they obviously know what it takes to be established big leaguers, and that's what I'm trying to be. So I'm just trying to pick their brains, see how they work, obviously see them compete. Just an awesome opportunity all around.
How much fun has the clubhouse been for you? I know there's a lot of young personalities, a lot that we're going to get to see take the field tonight. How cool has that mix been in the clubhouse and getting to be a part of it in your first spring? Just relax a little with the guys.
Yeah, it's different. I don't know which one I like more between college and a pro locker room, just because it's obviously different personalities in a professional locker room. But it's a blast to just hang out there with the guys and get around them. Like I said, pick their brain, but also have some fun with them.
Hey, the last time we talked one-on-one was at PNC Park, and you had looked out, and there was a very real possibility that you could be making an appearance there, maybe even sometime in the near future. Pirates fans are hoping, at least. If and when that moment comes, what do you want Pirates fans to know about the Paul Skeens that they're going to get taking the hill?
I'm going to compete, and the biggest thing is winning for me and the team, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help us win a lot of games.
a lot of games, hopefully, he says. Greg, Paul Skeens, very exciting fan base in front of us right now. LSU fans as well. Everyone's pumped up. You can hear the crowd in here. It was very nice to talk to you, Paul. Congratulations on a successful inning. Hopefully more to come. Greg?
Tremendous work, Hannah, and thank you to Paul. And yeah, people are fired up, not only here, but I can imagine Pirate fans all over pumped up watching that. We were. I mean,
know, yeah.
And again, Kevin, so we saw him pitch an inning in Sarasota against these Orioles first week of the spring. A strikeout of Abraham Gutierrez. He didn't agree with it, but he's not going to challenge it. That was this was different. This was special
really
tonight.
Different. It was. I mean, it started in between pitches. I mean, it was. You can hear a pin drop in the stands. I mean, you got a lot of fans around here watching this game, and everybody's on the edge of their seat just wanting to watch what it looks like. And they were not. They got their money's worth on that one, because I was happy to be in this seat as well. But I mean, he mentioned it too, that what he hangs his hat on, his ability to maintain, his velocity over a course of 6 or 7 innings, and that's impressive. And that means, if you can maintain that velocity, that slider is even that more effective. When you spin the ball, it's that much more effective. And so just think about that and how that impacts, a team's bullpen throughout the course of a season. So he is truly a horse that Pirate fans are really excited to see in Pittsburgh.
Sung-Jae Chang takes the strike. You saw the strikeout of Abraham Gutierrez, catching prospect in the system. Uh-oh, here we go. First challenge.
Catcher is challenging the call of ball.
Catcher challenging the call of ball. And now we look at the scoreboard. They usually show it. I don't know if they'll do that here. No video on the scoreboard. We're waiting.
And this is a time when you do challenge. I mean, you have a man on third base. You have opportunity to flip the count from 2-1 to 1-2.
Let's listen. I don't know that they've. I thought he was going to say something.
Here we go.
Okay. It's a strike.
Wow.
So they lose that one challenge. They've got 2 more. That's the ABS challenge system. It's supposed to be quicker than that. It's supposed to be instantaneous. You've seen it in the minors, Kevin. The catcher challenge, so it's a strike. Yeah, so
right.
they maintain their challenge.
They retain theirs.
Yeah.
And then, what we were saying, the time when you use them. That was a great time.
Good time to do it.
Yeah.
So the catcher challenged, and they will retain their challenge. But now a balk. How about that? A ball call reversed on the challenge system, but then a balk called on the lefty. Pavlich, and Forrester scores on the balk. And then he strikes out Chang. We had it all there, not at bat.
Yeah, we did.
Run scores 2-1 Pittsburgh. We take a look at our Toyota driving force of the game, and of course, Paul Skeens. Tremendous night for him. Just an inning, but gives you a taste of what we're going to see when he reaches the major leagues in the not too distant future. A couple of strikeouts and the broken bat ground out. He fell behind Jackson Holliday. Went on to strike him out at the end with that changeup, and now an issue with pitch calm.
Yeah, we were talking about Skeens and how exciting that is, and I know a lot of people are anticipating what does that look like. I mean, when you look at this pitching staff and these prospects, I mean, you see size, Brownie. I mean, you're talking about some big guys, 6'5", 6'6", can carry some innings. You really got to be excited about the overall pitching staff. You have these guys coming.
Here's Hunter Barco, a lefty drafted 2 years ago out of the University of Florida.
Yeah, he'll attack. He has a 4-pitch arsenal as well. The fastball, slider, changeup, and a split he uses. A good look at that fastball right there. At 94 miles per hour down at the knees away.
Facing Orioles catching prospect Silas Ardway. Pirates games more fun in groups. Start planning your group outing now. Group discounts start at just 10 people. The option to add on exclusive fan experiences, loaded value, and much more. To purchase tickets for your group, visit pirates.com/groups. Back to the top of the order, and if he gets it down, you better make a great play. And Gutierrez did all he could, but Enrique Bradfield Jr. beats out the bunt hit.
Yeah, it's one of the things. I was watching some video of him earlier this week, and he is an excellent bunter. He can take it with him. He can drop it down. You see the early bounce right there, and that ball just dies out there in no man's land between Gutierrez and the pitcher. And so we got wheels like that. These guys have been running today. The Orioles came out here with a plan to showcase some of their speed as well.
And a line drive caught, and Jackson Holliday lines it to Jack Brannigan. We talked about the fact that he's considered the best infield defender in the system. Double play. Pirate Spring Training Baseball is presented by Cohen Markets, where you save on fuel, food, and more every day. Under the lights here for the first time this spring, and this is the first annual spring breakout game. The Pirates are here. Queen Banshee and her matey and the parrot. Yes. Yeah. Oh, is he going to come in?
Yeah.
Captain Chris and the Renegades of the Rotunda. Termarr Johnson. An infield hit his first time up against this lefty, Cade Povich.
That's a good curveball right there by Povich.
Third inning of work for Povich. The Orioles' number 10 prospect faces the Pirates' number 2 prospect. And the top position player prospect in the Pirate system, and Termarr Johnson.
Nice hanging curveball right there.
He knows it too.
Termarr was right on top of that one, fouled it back.
Again, he's just 19. He'll turn 20 in June. He calls time. When will he arrive at the big league level? He's going to be pushing things quicker than I think many people thought.
Yeah, the key always when you have young players like this is, are they able to continue to improve in those other categories? You know, the consistency, the base running, awareness, and then being solid with the glove.
Mm-hmm. He's got an incredible eye for, again, a 19-year-old. He was playing last year, beginning of the season, at the age of 18. He's drawn 117 walks and 412 at bats, and this ball's popped up, and the third baseman Kobe Mayo will call off the catcher Ardway. So Termarr Johnson is the first out here in the bottom of the third inning. Cade Povich Faces Lonnie White Jr. Number 12 prospect in the Pirate system. Baseball America named him the best athlete among all Pirates minor leaguers. 21-year-old who is a Penn State commit. 64th overall selection in 2021.
There's a lot of football bodies in Pirate uniforms right now.
Yes.
So position players. Got Jace Bowen, another one who was commit to Michigan State. And obviously some of these pitchers that
Bubba Chandler. And there's a strikeout for Povich. That's his third. We invite you to check out the Pirates Great Taste Ticket presented by Miller Lite. Tickets standing room only and start at just $19 at PNC Park. Plus your first drink of the night is on us. This offer available online only at pirates.com/great taste. It's the Great Taste Ticket presented by Miller Lite. And now Jack Brannigan, number 10 overall prospect in the Pirate system. 23-year-old Jack Brannigan, and it's popped out of play.
You know, Browning, you watch some of these games like this and you realize how much talent is on the field. And you start realizing what separates them. You know, watching Povich right now on the mound, the ability to, you know, land those secondary pitches. His curveball has really been working for him. Getting a lot of swing and miss. It's just enough to, you know, create exactly what you need. If you struggle in one area, you know what pitch you can go to work out of it. And those are those little intricate parts of the game that separate some of these prospects from ones that are not. And so as you continue to grow as a baseball player, you understand how to troubleshoot, you know, your way through a season and be super effective.
Takes care of Jack Brannigan. That's impressive. Cade Povich. Tamar Johnson to be mic'd up when we come back. (2-1) spring breakout game, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. And we mentioned we're so delighted that Tamar Johnson allowed us to put a microphone on him. He's right now mic'd up. He's standing at second base. Tamar, what's this game like for you and the rest of the guys?
It's been great, man. It's been great so far. You know, it's good to be the first one, you know, be the guys to be able to kick it off with the first one. And we're just trying to, you know, keep this event going. You know, it's great to have all these fans here and have all these players here.
Woo-hoo. Really good. Tamar, I know obviously, you know, last spring you got cut short a little bit. How exciting has it been to be able to get into your first spring training and get around these guys and compete?
It's been amazing, man. I was able to, you know, gain a lot of knowledge, you know, gain a lot better with my skills, and, you know, I feel like I've developed way more than when I stepped in here back in February. So yeah, I'm excited.
A year older, a year smarter, right?
Exactly. Exactly. It was a lot of time, big league time in that locker room, and, you know, I was able to talk to every guy and get some type of information from every guy.
Here comes Brannigan.
Oh, boy, Brannigan! Oh, boy!
Tamar Johnson mic'd up. His teammate out there, Jack Brannigan, guns out Norby, brings up Kobe Mayo.
Woo! How you guys liking this event for the first time?
Yeah, it's been fun, man. I mean, how much excitement can you ask for? You got all this talent on the field, yourself included.
You got Joe Torre and Jim Leland, two Hall of Famers, watching it from the dugout right behind you.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm grateful to have everybody here. Fans, Joe, Jim. It's been great.
Of course, you've been playing in some big league Grapefruit League games tomorrow. You've hit 2 home runs. How much fun was that?
It was cool, you know, to be able to do that all in one game. You know, we weren't able to get that win, but, you know, it was cool to do that, you know, and we were able to kick things off. I feel like after that, everybody's bats got hot, and, you know, it's been great so far. You see the team, big league team, is hitting a lot of home runs and hitting it pretty far. Cruz, Key Bryant, everybody included, so. It's great to see.
You know what? That next foul ball, we're going to actually show our audience the home runs he's talking about against the Blue Jays in Dunedin, and there's a tapper.
Hey, boy, that boy.
2 outs. And there was no win that day to speak of, Tamar. I mean, those were like no doubters. We're showing them right now the video of your home runs.
Little mini bat flip.
Little bat flip during their
cool,
boardwalk.
Just keeping it cool.
Yeah. And then the one you went down and got, down and away.
That ball was crushed up.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys, man.
No, that's good stuff, man. You know, it's nice to see the energy. You know, everybody talks about, you know, 19 years old, and what were we doing when we were 19? I mean, we weren't doing this. So well, it was fun to watch you do it and have a good time doing it.
For sure.
And keep up the good work.
Thank you, KY. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kevin. You know, it's great to be able to meet you guys and talk with you guys, and it's great just to be here. You know.
It's awesome that you're letting us do this.
For sure.
The fact that you're doing it in the first annual Breakout game, this is a big deal for Major League Baseball, showcasing the game's best talent. It's got to have a feeling almost like of an all-star game. To me, that's what it feels like tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, everybody's trying to, you know, do something, trying to show off some type of tool and, you know, trying to make something happen. So, you know, we're going to try to walk away with this win today, and we're going to try to just keep things going.
We'll see if Tamar can't keep that mic on for us when the Pirates prospects bat here in the bottom of the inning.
Good job, boys. Good job.
Welcome to the Toyota RAV 4th inning here in Bradenton, Florida. Pirates and Orioles prospects, and Tamar Johnson kind enough to join us, and he was out on the field chatting it up with us. Now he's watching some of his teammates. You've watched these guys, Tres Gonzalez, you've played with him. What can you tell us about a guy like Tres Gonzalez?
I mean, Tres can hit, man. He can hit. Ever since, you know, I was fortunate enough to watch him at Georgia Tech in college, and, you know, all he has done is hit. So, and he's just been, you know, intricate part of the team. You know, he's one of the older guys that has played for a very long time, has a lot of experience, and, you know, he's definitely that guy in the clubhouse that you look to. You know, he's the first guy there, and, you know, he's amazing. He's been great. You know, I've been able to play with him in high A and low A, so.
Yeah, Tamar, what's been your biggest takeaway from this spring training?
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway is just understanding the game and understanding what's the most important part of this game. You know, I feel like at the end of the day, you know, it's a lot of things that go in this game. You know, you got stats, you got, you know, trying to hit home runs. It's a lot of things, but the most important thing is watching that ball and staying focused on that ball the whole time. And, you know, I felt like, you know, me honing that in and staying focused on that has helped me a lot. You know, just being focused on the ball and be focused on the game. You know, it's only a little bit of time out of your day to play this game, so you got to be focused for the time that you are here.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Sure, Pirate fans love to hear that too.
Jace Bowen, the base hit. Jace Bowen, number 21 prospect in the organization. Garrett Forrester, the 19 prospect, and of course the number 1 position player prospect in the Pirates organization. The top second base prospect in baseball is with us, Tamar Johnson. Tamar, where did you get your baseball savvy, your maturity in the game of baseball?
Man, I'm fortunate enough to have 3 great older brothers that, you know, ever since I came out the womb, we started playing baseball. It started from the house, outside in the backyard. You know, we tried to play baseball as much as we could, and, you know, I felt like that made me fall in love with the game, because every day, you know, I was ready to play some baseball, whether we were playing the sliding game or we were playing in-house baseball with sometimes a real baseball and sometimes a rubber baseball. Yeah, we were crazy. We were crazy, but, you know, I'm fortunate enough for those times, because, you know, without those, I don't think I would have had the love that I have now for the game.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know you're goal-oriented. What are you looking to accomplish this season? Obviously, one pitch at a time, but what are some of the things that you have on your list that you want to really accomplish over the season?
You know, I think my biggest thing is just trying to stay consistent with my focus. Staying consistent every day with my game and being focused every pitch. And I feel like if I do that, then my possibilities are endless. I'd be able to do anything in this game as far as, you know, getting us a World Series this year. You know, if God presents it, you know, I just got to be ready for it. So.
Yeah, one pitch at a time. I love it. Yeah, you gotta love to hear that. That's for sure.
Garrett Forrester at the plate. Tamar Johnson watches another teammate they've played Greensboro and Bradenton. Tamar was here in Bradenton second half of 2022, first half of last year. And you told us, we were talking to you the other day during BP, Tamar, asking you about this ballpark. And you said you love shooting for the tiki bar up there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. That's a good target. You know, it's right next to the batter's eye. So of course, I want to hit it to the middle of the field, but it's right next to the batter's eye. It's hard.
Great.
Hey, you love that, the middle of the field. Yeah, just to take off the tiki.
That's right.
For sure.
13 homers here last year in just 75 games in Bradenton with the Marauders. And you also wanted to point out, though, at the tip of the cap to the grounds crew here, because you love the infield dirt in this ballpark.
Yes, you know, they're amazing. This dirt is one of its kind. I don't think you can get this anywhere but, you know, probably Pirate City, something close. But this dirt is consistent every time. It's soft. You know, it's easy to play in, and the ball does not have any bad hops. And this grounds crew, they take real good care of this dirt, and I'm very, very grateful to know them and, you know, for them to just keep doing their job the right way. You know, it definitely helps us, helps our team to win, honestly. So, you know, that is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know we look forward to watching you play on this only in the spring moving forward.
That's right.
For sure.
Tamar, cannot thank you enough for being with us. Best of luck. We cannot wait to see you arrive in Pittsburgh. We'll be watching you along the way.
Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. It's been amazing.
What a guy. Tamar Johnson, the tip of the cap to Andrew Burnett, the head of field operations here. Lee Com making that field look pristine. Infielders and outfielders alike. Abraham Gutierrez, catcher, struck out his first time. The new pitcher is a prospect, of course, in the Orioles system, ranked 17th for Baltimore's minor league system. Trace Bright, who gave up the hit to Jace Bowen, then walked Garrett Forrester. Mitch Jebb had the infield fly, and now Abraham Gutierrez. And that is just foul. Nimble work over there. This umpiring crew around the bases. Casey James, Charles Welling. I believe they rotate.
That was really close to being a fair ball.
Brian Van Vranken.
Kind of hard to watch the ball when you're moving your feet, get out of the way. That thing was smoked. Those are one of those ankle busters, Brownie.
Yeah. Shalene Polanco is running for Garrett Forrester. For the Pirates over at first. Close. Jonathan Mayo, the senior baseball writer for MLB.com, who has a lot to do with these prospect rankings. He's going to join us. Talk more about these Pirates and Orioles prospects. The spring breakout game, 16 games in all in the Cactus League in Arizona and the Grapefruit League here in Florida. 16 games over the next 4 days. And that gets Gutierrez.
Yeah, got him off that right hand. Unfortunately, looks like Goody will be okay. That's always the scary one, though, in any game. Get that check swing. You want to start it. It looks like caught him in the elbow.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, shake it off. All right.
Gutierrez, the Pirates got him in a trade with the Phillies 3 summers back. The Pirates sent lefty pitcher Braden Ogle to get Gutierrez, who spent much of last year at Double-A Altoona. Sung Chae Chang has walked and struck out.
This could get real exciting here, Brownie.
Chang has hit 2 homers for the Pirates in Grapefruit League action. There's a chopper. Wants to leave them loaded. 4 innings complete in this 7-inning game. And we're back here, 2-1. Pirates system leading the Baby Birds. We say the Baby Bucks against the Baby Birds, and everybody under the spotlight, including Christian Curtis. He's now on for Pittsburgh. And we're joined by, again, MLB.com senior baseball writer Jonathan Mayo. Jonathan, we were talking about how you're so involved. You know more about these prospects maybe than anybody on this earth. And you pay a lot of attention, of course, to that. That's true. That's high praise, but it's true.
I hope Jim Callis didn't hear you say that.
Well, maybe you and Jim.
Fair enough.
Combined.
Fair enough.
But what do you think, first of all, about this idea of doing this breakout game?
I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
I do the Futures game every year, and that's, you know, a couple players from every organization, kid in a candy store for a prospect guy like me. But this is, you really get to see top to bottom each system all at the same time. So it's so much more talent. And I do the Pirates top 30 list, and I oversee the Orioles top 30 list. So this is perfect. So it's like,
oh my gosh,
it's kind of seeing all the names on paper on the field at once. I'm not really sure where to look.
Oh, that's really good. I mean, what are some of the things you've been super excited about as they go through this process? What would you like to see come of this game as we move forward?
I mean, more is more, I think, in this case. The original concept, I have to give a shout out to my MLB pipeline.
Made by Chang.
He's so smooth at short. He's going to play shortstop in the big leagues.
So I was just going to ask you that. So he's legit.
Oh, he is a
shortstop.
legit shortstop. The question with him is just the bat. You know, is there going to be enough impact for him to be an everyday shortstop? I think in a different era, you know, no doubt about it. But people now look for a little more thump from a shortstop, right, Kevin? And
yeah.
But he can play short. He can run. You know, bat to ball skills are good. Impacted the ball a little bit more last year, but you know, with Greensboro, you just never know how much it is that ballpark there. So, but in general, this comes. I want to give a shout out to my MLB pipeline colleague Jason Ratliff, whose idea this was initially, and it was thought of as a tournament. And now, logistically, I'm sure farm directors heard me say that and are like, no, shh.
Yes.
But I've never seen, and this is I'm about to hit 25 years at MLB.com, and I've never seen an idea that came from on high that everyone loves, players love, farm directors love. There's some logistics to go through, so hopefully we can build it out, maybe a home-and-home series next year. For a full-on tournament, maybe it has to be in the middle of the season leading up to a Futures game. I'm not sure, but I think the more you can do this sort of thing, the better. There's so much more information, guys, and everyone knows these players so much more than they used to, that being able to see them on this kind of stage is just really exciting.
No, did you get a chance to see the line? Because I know Brownie went out and saw the line and when the autograph signings and just the fan interest in that. It was very impressive.
No, I saw. Well, you know, you've got, you know, for the Pirates, you got your past 2 #1 picks and Paul Skeens that everyone wants to see, and Tamar Johnson. So I think you could have just had the 2 of them, and that would have been plenty. And then add in all the other guys who are here too. It's a really, really good farm system, right? And then the Orioles came in and back. I mean, these are the Orioles. We ranked them #1 farm system. The Pirates have been top 10 for the last, 7 rankings we've done. So these are 2 very good farm systems, and fans are savvy. They know these guys. Yeah,
That line we're
people
talking
waiting for the future right there.
Yeah.
It has arrived.
So, Jonathan, you say that fans are savvy. They know that if these guys are ranked high and these are legit prospects, it usually means in the not too distant future your team is going to win. And case in point, what Baltimore has done in such a short time.
We did a breakdown of that when we did our farm system rankings, and if you have the #1 ranked farm system, obviously it's not a guarantee because this is still all on paper. And I remember talking years ago when the Kansas City Royals had the top farm system in baseball, and they said it doesn't mean anything. No one wants to have the #1 farm system. It only means something if they win. Well, what did they do in 2015? They won the World Series.
Went out to left.
And so for the most part, if you have a really good farm system, it does translate into wins if you do it the right way. And I think, you know, Pirates fans saw hints of that last year, if not consistently. And now I think there's an expectation, maybe unfair, but there's a hope that there's going to be, a move forward. And you look at what the Orioles did. Now the trick for them is Enrique Bradfield they got later on in the first round because they're starting to win more games. Can they continue to have success in feeding that pipeline? Because winning at the big league level and maintaining a strong farm system at the same time, it's really hard to do.
Yes. And sustaining that winning at the major league level.
Yes.
With that, so.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun to watch the Orioles as they kind of come, and obviously the Pirates coming through the system, they play a lot of times against each other. So
same league.
You got to get to see those guys impact Baltimore. And then the Pittsburgh Pirate fans are starting to see the same thing occur too. So the expectation is definitely there. And these guys are not willing to disappoint at all. They're going to bring their best.
Off the middle of the new catcher, Omar Alfonso. Jonathan, tell us what you saw, what you've been seeing of Paul Skeens and how close. And I know you guys have talked about this before. He's the best college pitching prospect since
Steven Strasburg.
But maybe even better.
Maybe even better, which is, I mean, it's unfair because Steven Strasburg was ridiculously good. I think, when you look at Paul Skeens, the first thing, other than just the velocity, which is absurd, is the ease with which he does it. There's not effort there, and he's not just a guy who throws 102, which he did repeatedly, but he knows where to put it. He commands the fastball. He's got a full array of secondary pitches. He had, slider, changeup. Oh, I'm gonna add in a curveball because 3 plus pitches isn't enough. That curveball may be a plus pitch because he's got such good field of spin. So it's a combination of the size, the competitive streak. Like he came off the field and evidently was mad that he couldn't go another inning, and there's just no effort there. He's playing catch, and there's so much ride on the fastball, the high spin on the breaking stuff, weak contact there. I mean, we saw, I was just wondering, everything you'd want to see from him. His stuff is ready to get big league hitters out right now. I have no doubt about it. I do think it's the right decision to let him get some innings under his belt. He's thrown, 6 professional innings before this year, so I don't have a real problem with that, but you're going to see him soon.
Yeah. So that's my next question. You're going to see him soon, right?
Yeah, definitely. That was one thing I was going to ask you. Where were you in the first inning when he was thrown? Were you up here or down in the stands?
I was down the third baseline.
Okay. Did you hear how quiet it was in between pitches?
Yes.
I've never seen anything like that.
Because everyone wanted to see that, and then wanted to see him against Jackson Holiday, and
that was
fantastic. So get ready for that, guys, and to call that in Pittsburgh on the regular. He's going to be one of those guys that you're going to see all the flashes out, and that sort of thing. He has a chance to be a very special pitcher. And the thing that is amazing to me, that guy was a catcher for 2 years in college, which is crazy, but it also speaks to his athleticism, his ability to repeat his delivery. He took all of that with him. A guy that size to be a decent catcher who hit a lot of homers. It's too bad pitchers don't hit anymore because he would be an asset, I think, in that regard. And knowing how competitive he was, if he's not asking Shelton to pinch hit occasionally, I'd be a little shocked. But it's just, I don't like using the word ace because you never know. He's going to front the rotation, and it's going to be very, very soon.
Yeah, that's really impressive. The size, I mean, if you get a chance to sign an autograph and be next to the young man, I mean, he's a massive individual.
Yeah.
I mean, from down the lower half is, as you said, I mean, it's being a catcher, and the thighs, the calves, everything is made for sustaining long innings, going 7 innings, and he does a great job of holding that velocity, as we talked about.
Well, I mean, a good pitcher has to use his legs. Otherwise, that's where the injuries occur.
And this fly out, good inning for Christian Curtison. We'll continue with Jonathan Mayo talking these great prospects.
Back in Lecom in Bradenton, Florida, under the lights. Bottom of the 5th, Buck goes up 2-1, and I am currently joined by Pirates pitching prospect Anthony Solomito. Solo, you didn't get to pitch today. You've been recovering from an illness, but how are you feeling? Tell everybody, assure us that we'll get to see you out there soon.
So I'm doing all good now. I was absolutely dead on Sunday. I got nursed back to health by my girlfriend, thank God. But yeah, after thinking I was going to see heaven, I got back to work the next day, and I was all good, no longer contagious, and I'm feeling good now. I'm just a little antsy, sorry, a little mad I can't play tonight, but I'm ready to go. I'm pitching Saturday, and it's about time to get back on the horse, so I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you're on Earth.
Thank you.
I know we had a scare there, but we're glad to have you here. But you did get to witness some of the guys that you've been growing with, and specifically, let's talk about Paul Skeens. That was the big storyline of the day, him versus Jackson Holiday in the beginning. Do you ever just look at what he does on the mound and just think, wow?
Yeah, I mean, the way watching Paul do his thing is always a great thing to do, and it's just exciting sharing the gym with him and getting after it because, you know, we're always pushing each other, and we got a great group of guys here, and he's a dude that goes out there and does the thing, and, you know, we're all doing our best to do the same exact thing, so it's nice having us all together and just performing and trying to outperform one another.
Yeah, speaking of having you all together, this is your first invite to Big League Camp. What's this experience been like for you? You're all smiles when I said that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's a lifelong dream. I mean, my whole life I've just been thinking about playing Big League Baseball and, you know, getting told the news back in January when I found out. It was like, you know, it's a life-changing moment. You know, it's like you really just look back on all the people that are there with you from the beginning, you know, my dad, my mom, my whole family, and just how they pushed me through all this time for this one goal, and we were just one step closer. So it's, you know, got to thank God because the dream come true.
Yeah, one step closer. What's it been like? How do you think you've grown already as a pitcher being able to experience spring training with some of these veterans out here?
I mean, it's really sick. All the guys are really nice, really great, and it's really nice to know that the transition's not as big and as scary as you may think it is coming from the minor leagues. You know, it's like everybody's still a human, nobody's an alien or anything like that, and everyone's pretty cool, level-headed, and there's just a lot of dudes who've done a lot of things and won some World Series now on here, and, you know, there's a lot of people I can learn from, and they all did a great job sharing advice and just kind of priming me for when it's my turn to share the jersey with them.
Absolutely. One of those guys that have been helping you and priming you, Henry Davis. You had time and had spent time living with him at one point. So what's the coolest thing he's ever done for you in your career?
Living with Henry was quite the experience. He's a great dude, different human being. But this one time he did get me to go to Tom Brady's box to go watch the Buccaneers play. And it was an awesome time, but he was watching, keeping a watchful eye on me, make sure I wasn't doing anything too crazy. And then they actually brought around a dessert cart. And there was this delicious looking chocolate cake, and I went to go get it, and he was like, dude, don't go get the chocolate cake. And I was like, bro, we're in Tom Brady's box. I got to go get some chocolate cake. So I tried it, and it was one of the best cakes I've ever had in my entire life. And he took a picture of me and just thought it was so funny, but I have no shame because I don't regret that cake whatsoever.
I don't think many of us in this world would regret a Tom Brady slice of chocolate cake. So I'm glad on behalf of America that you went and took the chocolate cake for all of us. Hey, we can't wait to see you out on the mound again. Thank you for stopping by.
No problem.
Absolutely. Greg, would you have taken the Tom Brady's chocolate cake? Because I sure would have.
Well, after what Anthony just said, heck yes. And it's good to know he's not an alien too, by the way, we're concerned. No.
Well, I mean, living with Henry Davis, that could be a reality show.
Yeah, really.
Oh, that's so good.
In the very best possible way.
Yes. Well, what a personality. And tell us about what a pitcher he is.
It's a shame we're not going to get to see him.
Yeah.
You know, it's because I've seen video of him mostly from high school. And one of the things that I like most, I always start a story at the end of it.
That's okay.
Terrible broadcasting.
No, bad on my part to ask with two outs. We'll be back with Jonathan Mayo.
Somebody tell them that we just getting started. Bring you on the way, no that. Bring you on the way, no that.
Your favorite players and your favorite moments on your home of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Bring you on the way, no.
Coming soon to Sportsnet Pittsburgh. 2-1 Pittsburgh leads Baltimore in the breakout game, a 7-inning ball game, seeing a lot of prospects. We're just talking about Anthony Solomito, 21-year-old. Pirates drafted in the second round 3 years ago. And Jonathan Mayo with us. Jonathan, what do you think about this comparison?
Yeah, you guys read my mind because his delivery has always had a little Madison Bumgarner in him. He's got a little Clayton Kershaw too. But from the leg kick to the arm action, there are some eerie similarities there. And I guess the Pirates can only hope. I mean, he's got good stuff. One of the things I really have liked the Pirates have done in terms of developing pitching lately is they've let guys be who they are. I think once upon a time, not just the Pirates in general, there was a way to do it. And you would just let guys do it. As we look at Patrick Riley, another really good arm out of Vanderbilt here pitching for the Pirates. But, you know, they've let guys keep their personality. They don't try to change what normally would be slightly unorthodox mechanics. Bubba Chandler is another guy because he's super athletic, kind of high tempo. Now you want to make sure he doesn't let things speed up too much, but they're letting these guys be who they are while obviously helping them develop, change pitch grips, arm design, things like that have really helped a lot of these pitchers. You saw Hunter Barco out here. He looks a lot different than he did in his college days when he was all funk. And I mean, I remember seeing him in college and said, boy, that's really, it works, but he's going to get hurt, and he did. And they really changed his arm action to help avoid injuries in the future without completely taking away who he is as that funky lower slot lefty that's really hard to pick up.
Yeah, that's really important to do. I mean, the old saying, meet them where they are, not where you want them to be. The game will usually dictate to a lot of time what changes need to be made. And when you have some plus athletes like, you put together and you're talking about, these guys know how to move. They're good movers. And so that's what I've been excited to watch is just, like you say, the athleticism, the size, those things really doing well for you in the future.
And the pitching in this system is ridiculous. I mean, the Christian Curtis that we saw last inning, strike out there from, I'm just taking your job.
No, please do, Jonathan.
Want to take the inning off.
I love it.
That's
perfect.
But Christian Curtis is a guy from last year's draft, not even in their top 30, good arm. Patrick Riley, really intriguing. We saw it's upper 90s, the stuff moves. It's all a question of command for him. He kind of moved back and forth at Vanderbilt between the bullpen and the rotation, and the question is, can he throw enough strikes to start? And they're going to see what happens this year in his first full season, but the stuff is really good.
Yeah, so Patrick Riley, 22 years old. As Jonathan said, a matter of command, a lot of walks. Leandro Arias is at the plate for Baltimore. Just this game, really the perfect debut of the showcase because these two organizations are stacked with prospects, aren't they?
This is exactly what we were thinking. I mean, honestly, when this idea came up, I think everybody thought Paul Skeens versus Jackson Holliday. And if we can make that happen.
Man.
And the whole time we're watching Jackson Holliday, like, is he going to make the big league team? I hope they don't take him out of this game.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully to the Orioles, they did not, even though I think he's going to make the big league team.
We were just talking about that before the game off the air.
Yeah.
Kevin, I've said, do you think he's not going to make the team
No,
now
I
that
think
he's
he
playing?
is. No,
Okay.
but I think they just,
They just did it for this.
This was his game
That's
today,
great.
right? The Orioles were here anyway. Let's think of it as a split squad for someone like him, and why not let him play?
So speaking of that, Jonathan, we were trying to play detectives and trying to figure out. So Jared Jones was originally going to be on this roster. He's not.
I know.
Now, come on.
I mean, listen, I don't know that he's going to make the team, and honestly, I don't pay enough attention to the big league stuff, but he's clearly in the mix. And for people to say, well, why don't you just let him throw here? If you're only letting guys go an inning at a time, and it's against minor leaguers, and you're trying to evaluate whether or not this guy who's not played a day in the big leagues is good enough to pitch in the big leagues, you want him to start games against the big league lineups as much as humanly possible. So I don't begrudge any organization that this happened in a couple places, especially with pitching, that pulled guys because of that possibility.
And Jones is scheduled to start. Jared Jones, we're talking about with the Pirates. He's scheduled to start in another Grapefruit League game.
Brown, you have to take a look at this fastball right here. That's the front door fastball to the lefty with that movement, that late movement that runs in the inside part of the plate.
It's going to work, and it's interesting with these arms. Curtis, last inning, this was his first inning on a competitive mound for the Pirates in his career.
Wow.
Because they drafted him last year, and they didn't want to ramp him back up, and he didn't pitch. And I don't know off the top of my head how much Riley pitched, but not a lot. So this is
wow.
We're all seeing him for the first time, but a lot of times this is the first time they're on the mound, in a slightly larger setting. They know that this game is being broadcast far and wide.
Yeah.
People are paying attention to these games more than a regular Grapefruit League game might be, where maybe a Patrick Riley gets called over for a mop-up 8th inning, late in a game that doesn't matter. This has slightly more of a spotlight on it, and watching these guys react is another data point also for how they're doing as prospects.
Wow, that's awesome. The stable is looking really nice.
Oh, the pitching in the Pirates system, especially the pitching, I think they have better pitching in their system than any other organization in baseball.
Wow.
They certainly have more top 100 guys than any other team in baseball, but it's deep when you have arms like this. Now, if I were a betting man, Patrick Riley probably ends up in a bullpen. Christian Curtis probably ends up in a bullpen. But you know what? You need a full bullpen.
Well, he just got called, the batter, Tavera, just got called for a pitch clock violation. So Patrick Riley strikes out the side in order. Our next spring training game coming up tomorrow night. Bucks travel up to Tampa, play the Yankees under the lights. Going to be bringing you the Yes Network broadcast of that game here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Be sure to tune in 6:30 for that one. The Pirates and the Yankees tomorrow night. And that will be Quinn Priester on the hill for Pittsburgh. We're talking about Jared Jones. He will pitch in a Grapefruit League game on Saturday. Pirates going to have a split squad, and Jones will pitch against the Braves down in Northport. Mitch Keller will start the game here against Detroit. Here is Tony Blanco Jr. This is an intriguing guy here, huh?
Oh, man.
Power.
So much power. And the question is, can he find enough of an approach to get to it? They were really happy with how he showed up in camp this year. He's a big kid, and if he stays on top of his conditioning and just better pitch selection and swing decisions, the power is he probably has the most raw power of anybody in the system. It's just a question of whether he can get to it enough.
His dad played in the big leagues. This is Tony Blanco Jr. Base hit the other way. A lot of talk, Jonathan, about the exit velos from this guy's bat last year.
Yeah, the elite level, so you know it's in there, but exit velos only work if you actually make contact with the baseball. I don't know if you know that.
That's true.
It's a little known fact in baseball. but that's very encouraging. It's just one at bat, right? To see a guy that size in this setting not try to hit the ball out to left, and that's what was his problem, to just not do too much and go the other way.
Yeah, there's nothing better than seeing a big man go the other way with 2 strikes.
Yep.
Jace Bowen fouls this off.
And you get a pinch runner to go. My day is over.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's re-entry here, so he can come back in and hit again if somehow it happens that they have to hit again, and they flip the way all the way around.
Jesus Castillo pinch running. Jace Bowen, ranked number 21 in the Pirates system by Jonathan Mayo and company.
Yeah, interesting sort of power speed combination. He's super athletic. Another guy, he just needs to make enough contact at the upper levels so that it can work in the big leagues, but can go get it in the outfield too. So interesting mix of tools plus athleticism.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys that coming through the Pirate farm system was always fun to watch when he came in. Obviously the Michigan State commit for football, but just the athleticism and the ability to really hone into the baseball side, as we were talking about those two-way pitchers that,
our multi-sport guys.
But then baseball guys go through the same thing as well. And so to watch Jace Bowen be able to now lock into baseball and continue to have those incremental gains throughout, it's been fun to watch him as well.
Into center, base hit for Bowen. First and second.
Just some good.
And Shalin Polanco now.
Just good situational hitting from both these guys so far. And I think you're right. I mean, you saw Lonnie White earlier, who just need reps, and he kept getting hurt. Jace Bowen needed reps. He's gotten the reps, and you can see where he's going. He keeps making that next step.
Absolutely. So many times in amateur play in high school and whatever, a lot of these guys are baseball players. That's it. And so they have so many more at bats, and then in college they have so many more at bats. You get into the pro game, now you're facing elite pitching as well. So sometimes it takes a little longer to catch up, right? I mean, so it's really nice to see some of these guys as they go through that process and get some more at bats.
This guy is maybe my pick to click from a sort of slightly more under the radar but known hitting prospect in the Pirate system. I think he started to figure some things out last year. And, another guy, a lot of times with these really young players, it takes a while to find the approach that works. So you're seeing enough pitches, you're not getting yourself out, you're not expanding the zone. But he has a ton of tools. A lot of good exit velo for him too, Greg.
He played here in Bradenton with the Marauders last year. A fair ball and a heck of a try at second. Nice defensive work. Over at first by Williams.
Jace Bowen's grabbing his wrist a little bit. I think he's okay, but sliding into second base.
Trailed his hand or something like that, because it wasn't a tag or anything like that. We didn't get to talk about Polanco for too long, but he started to figure some things out here in Bradenton, and I'm curious to see what he does. He might put up some silly numbers in Greensboro.
Creed Williams with that play at first base, and then you see grabbing the wrist. Let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, I think he just kind of twisted when he hit the ground a little bit.
And now Mitch Jebb going to sacrifice fly.
It's nice to see him drive the ball. I think that's the one thing about Mitch Jebb that we don't know. He can really run. He can really defend. Makes a lot of contact. I think they're going to appeal here to third.
Is that Enrique still in center field?
I think so.
Man, he's playing so shallow.
He can fly though, can he, Jonathan?
Went back on the ball really good.
He's got 80 speed and he's got good instincts. If that is still him in center field, so it's a combination of those things. Sometimes you see the guys who outrun mistakes.
Can we get a shot?
They just appealed and he's safe. No, that is not actually Brad. That is Tavera out there.
He can go get it too.
Raylene Tavera.
In this system, the backup center fielder is still.
Omar Alfonso. Number 29 prospect.
Well, the number that really stands out is that on-base percentage. I mean, he just has a ridiculously advanced approach at the plate, typically, for especially someone for his lack of experience and his age. And he's learning the catching stuff too, and he's pretty good back there. And you look at him. I think there's going to be power to come. Right now, he's a kind of hit first, contact first, get on base guy, but it's in there.
To center. Boy, he was playing shallow. He gets back there. Can't thank Jonathan Mayo enough. Man, that's a blast.
It has been a dream of mine to share a booth with you, Greg Grant.
Jonathan Mayo, he's got a long drive ahead of him. Thanks so much to Jonathan Mayo. Great stuff. Pirates leading Baltimore 3-1.
Top of the 7th in the spring breakout game at Lecom, and Bubba Chandler now takes the mound. Before getting drafted by the Pirates, Bubba Chandler actually had plans to be a multi-sport athlete at Clemson University, playing both baseball and football. Bubba told me he actually spent a summer session training with the football team as a quarterback and still has about 30% of the playbook at that time memorized. He said getting the opportunity to play with Dabo Swinney was an absolute dream come true. You see a picture of the two right there at the football facility. He said that Swinney is an absolute idol to his father as well, so they were very excited for his experience there. And even though Bubba chose baseball with the Buccos, Coach Swinney still supports him to this day, and they stay in touch. Bubba considers Coach a mentor in his life, and Greg, he said he really hopes that Coach Swinney knows that. But how about that? They still stay in touch, and Coach still watches him pitch.
That is cool. And what an athlete, obviously, Hannah. Bubba Chandler, a great personality, just 21 years old.
You know, one of the things with Bubba Chandler is just that plus fastball that he has. It's just a lot of ride to it, and it's just fun to watch him just explode. And you know, you see a lot of swing and miss underneath that fastball for a reason.
John Rhodes for Baltimore. Pops it up to left. Watch MLB.tv and stream 250 plus spring training games and every out-of-market game live or on demand. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. One out in the top of the 7th. It's a 7-inning game. We understand that it'll be up to the managers to decide whether they want to go ahead and play the bottom of the 7th, even though the Pirates lead it. So Chandler, 98 there to Creed Williams. Creed Williams first at bat. Now playing at first base. Bubba Chandler finished up last season a game in Altoona, but the majority of 2023 a starter for the Greensboro Grasshoppers, high A, and that's 98 miles an hour. Oh,
that one stung a little bit.
You think? Ooh.
You know, Brownie, I was thinking if you that's the one thing you don't want to see is hopefully it caught him in a spot where it's not the hand, it's more of the forearm where you have a little bit more meat in it. But
Creed Williams, number 30 prospect in the Orioles organization. Looks like he's going to stay in the game. Roberto Mercado, manager AA for the Orioles, says you're out of the ball game. So, ouch.
Yeah, I might have caught him right on the elbow. Yeah, that's going to sting a little bit. Not a lot of meat to protect that elbow bone. But so on another note, I was going to say, Brownie, have you ever met a Bubba that wasn't a lot of fun?
No, that's true.
I mean, and you can see it just as he goes. He just attacks.
That's true.
He attacks on the mound. Yeah, that good velocity, and
Tomas Sosa comes to the plate. Billy Cook pinch running at first.
I think that one pitch, that was the one thing he's looking to develop. That.
And a balk is called on Bubba Chandler.
Doesn't mean much in a 2-run game right now. Still focusing on that hitter. And see what he did right here. A little start and stop. First base umpire didn't miss him.
Bubba Chandler last year 106 innings at high A-ball Greensboro in the Pirates organization, 120 strikeouts. It was great to hear Jonathan Mayo, who again, he knows these prospects as well as anybody anywhere, and especially actually the Pirates and the Orioles. He said that the Pirates system might be stacked better than any organization in terms of pitching.
I think the best thing about it is you're not hearing it from just anybody. You're
not hearing from somebody in the Pirates. You're
specialized.
Like
yes, absolutely. You're hearing from the outside, not the inside. So it's just another affirmation of what we've been seeing come along. Oh boy, that's just a plus fastball at top of the zone. Here it is. Can you catch up? Talking about fastball with ride, and that's what it looks like. And you think the ball's going to come down to your barrel, and it never does.
Oh. That's what's called good old country hardball right there.
There you go, Bubba.
Bubba Chandler.
Those are 3 fastballs, all at the top of the zone, all swung up underneath. You think you think it's going to come down to the barrel? It just doesn't come down.
Matthew Etzel for Baltimore pops it up. And that might be the end of the game. Don't know what the managers have decided. It looks like it is. So you have to say a very, very successful debut to the spring breakout game and series. This is the start of a 4-day series of games throughout Florida and Arizona. 16 over the next 4 days, and boy, did we get a chance to see both teams' prospects on display. And for Pirate fans, all the pitching we saw, starting with Paul Skeens.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough about an opportunity to showcase something like this and be the first one as well. But these guys really have a bright future, and to see that much talent on one field, again, it gives you a lot of hope if you're a Pirates fan or Oriole fan of maintaining and building for the future.
Termarr Johnson, he was mic'd up for us. An absolute treat. We got a chance to hear Paul Skeens talk to Hannah Mears. We had Endy Rodriguez in the booth with us, Jonathan Mayo. And just a lot of fun. And I think we're going to actually keep it here. I think Hannah Mears is going to chat with Bubba Chandler. He's going to pick up that save in the first ever breakout game. Hannah?
Oh, sure.
Bubba, you were extremely amped up to come out here. That was evident, the fun you were having in the bullpen before coming out. Why was it so important for you to come out here and get it done for the Young Bucks?
Yeah, we wanted to win, and that's what we did. And they told me I had the 7th, and I just wanted to come in here and close it out and have fun. And I'm pretty pumped up about it. First time ever closing. It was really cool. Very weird, got hot early, which you can't really do. Tried to treat it like a start, but man, I loved it. Team balled out. I think I got 1 hit. It was on a bunt, so pitchers did our jobs and hitters did theirs.
Never closed before. Did you have any nerves coming into this one?
Yeah, as you could see, it's a creed. I 0-2, got a little too big, and pulled that pitch a little bit. Probably shouldn't have threw it again. Probably should have went with a changeup right there. Emotions get a little too big, but it was fun, man. Closing's sick. I feel how Bednar feels.
I'm sure the Renegade will appreciate that compliment. Hey, the guy who opened today for you guys, Paul Skeens, how much did seeing his velocity hit 101, 102 at times just really ignite the bullpen?
It fired. I say not even bullpen. Fires up the team. They said they didn't have the velo up for him when he pitched, which sucks. As an infielder, you turn around, you see that, and you're like, man, that guy's good. He's throwing hard, and it's dotted, But really good player. Fires me up. When he was throwing, I was in there getting ready, and every pitch I was like, it's just kind of stupid how good that guy is. But yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it. It was silent in here too, which was pretty crazy watching him pitch, just everyone enamored by it. But overall, enamored by the Young Bucks. A 3-1 win tonight. You mentioned the team. How proud are you to be alongside of these guys in the black and gold?
Man, since the Pirates drafted me, it's every year we just keep adding pieces and minor league level, big league level, and I see a lot of success this year for the team and in the future, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Hey, Bubba Chandler, a now closer. How about that?
Oh God, I don't want to be. I'll stick to starting.
Hey, he did it great today, though, Greg. Very, very proud of you. Thank you for coming to stop and say hi. Congratulations, Bubba. Greg?
Great stuff, Hannah. Thank you. And to Bubba Chandler, yeah, he enjoyed it for tonight. But as he mentioned, 6 Pirates prospects pitchers, 1 hit. The Orioles prospects, and that was that bunt in the 3rd inning by Enrique Bradfield Jr. Just tremendous pitching on display for the Pittsburgh Pirates over the Baltimore Orioles in the breakout game. Again, our final score 3-1. Next broadcast tomorrow night, 6:30. Bucks and Yankees. We'll have it on the part of the Yes Network feed for that one here. And then we'll be back Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock, when the Tigers come to Lecom. We want to thank again Termarr Johnson, more of the mic for us, Andy Rodriguez in the booth, Paul Skeens, Anthony Solomito, Bubba Chandler, Jonathan Mayo joined us. For Hannah Mears and Kevin Young, Greg Brown thanking you for joining us for the first ever Spring Breakout Series game.